Hello and welcome to healthyhouseplants.com, where we teach you all about gardening in the great indoors. If you'd like to support our show, please use our Amazon affiliate link below. Today we are going to answer a question from one of my subscribers, Christina H. So thank you, Christina, for asking this question, because it is something that does happen with spider plants. This is Lucy. She is in a spider plant revival series that I have a playlist for as well. I'll put the link below. Also recommended initially by Christina. So she's looking really good. She was repotted not too long ago, and she is already growing even more. So the question from Christina was about the foliage bending and then breaking on the house plants, on the spider plant grown as a house plant, and also when it's grown outdoors. So what happens with the spider plant when this generally occurs? There's a couple different things that could happen. Number one, you see with their hairdo, as it is, it tends to go underneath. It hang underneath the pot. So you do have to be really careful when you're setting the plant down after watering it, that you kind of lift up its hair so it doesn't sit on its hair, because that can cause pressure and cause breakage as well. It can also cause the tips to break off, which doesn't look that good, and even pull off entire leaves. Okay, the other very common reason for this to occur is that the plant gets too dry. When it gets too dry, then the foliage will droop, as foliage does when the plant has dried out. And at that point, it will get a crease in the foliage at that point because of the heaviness of hanging down, and then that will cause it to then bend. And then once you have the crease in that particular leaf, it's not going to go away. So you either cut it out, or you just get used to looking at it that way, and then water correctly so that the other leaves will come out then looking better, and at some point you can then get rid of it because you don't want to cut all of the bent ones off if you just had a droughting situation, because then you can cause other problems like root rot, because there's not enough foliage up top to support all of the wet soil below. Okay, so the watering with spider plants is a little on the tricky side, because they don't like to be overwatered, and they definitely don't like to be underwatered. However, you can't just keep watering them just in case, because you don't want them, because what will happen then is you're going to get root rot from them. So water, keep a good eye on them. Water when on the moisture meter it shows 4 nearing 3, but you definitely don't want to get it into 3, because 3 is too dry. It's dry. So 4-ish, around 4, beginning of 4 is a good indicator. With a pot this size, the first ½ inch is dried out, and no more than that. And then you re-water. Go ahead and water. A bigger pot, you might be going down about 3/4 of an inch or an inch, and then you water. If the pot is very lightweight, that's another indicator it's time to water. So just keeping a good eye on the plant. Water when it's before it's dry, and then watch and see how it does. Also note when the leaves do start to droop. That'll give you a really good indicator that you definitely don't want to get to that point when the leaves are drooping, because that is the point where it could definitely get the bent leaves and not look so good afterwards. So that is the main reason. As one thing that works really well with these guys, so you don't have to worry about setting any the pot on top of the leaves, is to use them in a hanging basket. You would still have to watch watering with that, but it would help with not having the problem of them the foliage getting stuck underneath. Also be very careful when you're moving these plants around if they're next to other plants, because they, as mentioned, that the leaves are tender and they will pull off very easily or bend or break very easily. This is especially the case when on mature plants that get the little babies at the end, the little pom-pom-like babies at the end that can be propagated. However, that makes the whole leaf much heavier. So at that point, when it's especially with mature plants, you definitely want to watch watering and make sure that you're watering correctly and that you don't yank the plant accidentally and pull too hard and then you lose some foliage. So that hopefully will answer your question on that. Also good fertilizing too. So fertilizing the plant to keep the foliage nice and buoyant and healthy. This is my Green Gourmet houseplant food, which I'll put a link for below. So the healthier the plant, the more nutrient rich the soil, using a good fertilizer in the soil, the less chance you're going to have of breakage and bending with the gorgeous spider plant. Thank you for stopping by today. Please leave any comments about any indoor gardening tutorials you'd like to see. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video. And please check the bell if you'd like to be notified when new videos are released.